wanted to talk about something specific, and it is an issue that I used to deal with, but I don't. I think that I kind of got out of it or figured out a solution to get out of it, and I thought I'd share it because I think it might help somebody, and I want to talk about it. My perspective on life was always negative. It was always when I see life, especially where I come from, you are always experiencing shit happening around you, and not like good kind of shit. Because here in Egypt, there's a lot of problems, and if you go on with your life normally, you will probably encounter a lot of problems, and that might affect you negatively, and it did for me, and not in a good way. So I figured out a way. I've not figured out a way. I don't want to sound like I got the solution, but it helped me a little bit. And it is that you control your own life, and you control your experiences. You control the inputs that's coming to you, to your brain. When I see something in the streets, I control the input that this thing comes, how this certain situation is interpreted in my brain. And this might seem a small thing, but it is not. It is a very, very deep and I think misunderstood thing. Because if you actually act that way, even though it is a very small thing, you can barely acknowledge it. But if you do it, it's like magic. It's actually like magic, because you go on with your life thinking that what's your life is what's happening in the world, but it is not. Your life is what you are experiencing, and you control the things that form your experiences. You can see the worst, you can live the worst situation right now, but if you interpret it in a good way, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter at all. I think the biggest problem is that we forget that in the grand scheme of things, we are nothing. And I think this is, there's always a major misconception about this sentence that I just said. When I say we are nothing, I don't mean it in a way that you don't have to care about anything because you'll eventually die. What I mean is you don't have to live your life negatively, because it doesn't matter. Enjoy your life, because it doesn't matter. If that makes any sense. And always try to look at the positive aspect that's coming from anything you experience, but not in a light at the end of the tunnel shit, because I think it's a little bit different, or not a little bit, a lot different than sheer optimism, because that's a thought that just came to me. It might confuse someone, because sheer optimism is pathetic, to say the least. It doesn't do anyone any benefits. You have to experience things and think about those experiences. And if there's a reason to be optimistic, then be optimistic. But sheer optimism is pathetic. Sheer optimism is pathetic. And I'm talking about this stuff because I just figured out that this small change of mindset of how you interpret things happening to you can benefit someone on a very deep level. Because taking life negatively and taking every negative aspect of everything that's happened to you, the build-up of these negative things will eventually lead you to shit places. It can lead you to severe depression, severe anxiety, suicidal thoughts even. So that's why I wanted to talk about this, because it's a small thing, but on the long term, on the scale, on the bigger scale, it is not a small thing, The key changes are the ones that are minor, but are done, a lot. So that's what people should do, I think. And it is that always don't stay positive all the time, because shit happens and you can't control it. But don't get out of situations with a negative mindset. Get out of situations with a mindset that shit happens and I don't care. I'm gonna live my life, and I'm gonna live it with the best of my ability. And what I'm going to say right now might sound cliche, might sound cringe. If you cringe hard, get out. If you hate cliche sentences, get out. Get out. Get out. But the thing I wanted to say is, I think what all people should do is love each other and love themselves. And that doesn't come from a negative mindset. So the more positive you are, the more capable you are of doing this. The more you will be happy, the more you will thrive, and everyone around you will, and the world will be a better place. And there's a big emphasis on the part where I said that sheer optimism is pathetic. I don't mean that like I hate people who are optimistic, who fit in this mindset of sheer optimism. But it's not the best thing to do. The best thing to do when you encounter a negative thing is think deeply about this situation that you were put in and try to solve it. If you have things to be optimistic about, or if you've reached solutions that you could be optimistic about, then be optimistic. But if you are optimistic without trying to solve the negative thing that's happening to you, this will not do you any good. This will not benefit you. This will not benefit anyone. I'm glad I made that clear. I'm sorry if you can't follow up with what I'm saying, but I try. But yeah, what I was saying is, when I say people should love each other and love everyone around them, I really mean that. If you do this, trust me, life will be better. And I don't mean do this like this might sound cliche as well, but I don't mean like love everybody like like a cartoon, but I mean look at the positive side of things always, and that will improve your life, improve the lives of the people around you, improve your mindset, and that will make you love everything, basically. Love people, what they are, Yeah. I think that's enough. Bye.